What's up, Taiwan? Good evening. I'm Liao with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Britain's Queen Elizabeth II has died at the age of 96. She was the country's longest-serving monarch, coming to power at the age of 25. Tributes have been pouring in, including from Taiwan, as Louise Watt reports.
An outpouring of emotion for an instantly recognizable figure. Britain's Queen Elizabeth II died on Thursday at 96, after 70 years on the throne. She was the figurehead of the country as it rebuilt after the Second World War, lost its empire, and transformed its economy. Her reign saw 15 British Prime Ministers. The last of these, Liz Truss, appointed by the Queen only on Tuesday.
We are all devastated by the news that we have just heard from Balmoral. The death of Her Majesty the Queen is a huge shock to the nation and to the world. Queen Elizabeth II was the rock on which modern Britain was built. Our country has grown and flourished under her reign. Britain is the great country it is today because of her.
She headed the 56-nation Commonwealth, made up mostly of Britain's former colonies. And she remained head of state of more than a dozen countries, including 5 of Taiwan's 14 official diplomatic allies. Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen says she extended her deepest condolences to the royal family, the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth on the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Taiwan remembers and celebrates her life of leadership and service, which set an example for people around the world. In Taiwan's capital, Taipei, people spoke of their shock at her passing.
英国的女王啊，基本上她就是一个看起来非常亲和，但是实际上内心应该是属于比较 tough 的一个人格的一个表现这样子。但是就是说她在位整体听起来，她并没有对于政治上有太多的一个干预，她等于是就是在她的一些公益跟她王室该尽的一些义务去做，所以觉得其实这是蛮佩服的。
当下听到就觉得很震惊，就是统治这一个世纪的伟大的一个女性，就是居然那么突然的就去离世。但其实她年纪做到那么大，当然可能突然离去也不稀奇啊，就是还是觉得很惋惜。
Queen Elizabeth's death means her eldest son is now King Charles III. He's not as popular as his mother was, and what the transition means for the future of Britain's monarchy is still unclear. Even for many Britons who said the country shouldn't have a monarchy in the 21st century, the Queen was a reassuring presence. The flag flew at half-mast outside Buckingham Palace, the Queen's official residence in London, as people gathered to lay flowers outside. Some sang the national anthem. Her death comes as Britain has lost some of its shine. It's grappling with economic woes, its highest inflation in 40 years because of rising food and energy prices. Add to that the ongoing fallout from its leaving the European Union and the war in Ukraine. Now the country has lost a queen who symbolised stability and continuity, adding to an uncertain future. Damon Lin and Louise Watt for TaiwanPlus.
Holiday goers are experiencing heavy traffic as they try to take advantage of the Mid-Autumn Festival long weekend. Traffic on the eastbound freeway heading out from Taipei reached as slow as 30 kilometers per hour. The Highway Bureau had predicted that traffic volume on Friday would be 1.7 times greater than usual. Despite a rising wave of COVID-19, crowds are swarming to tourist attractions around the country. The Hualien Ocean Park in the country's east saw more than 1,000 visitors Friday morning alone. Looking ahead, the government is anticipating high northbound traffic volume in the following days. It will impose high occupancy restrictions on National Freeway Number 5 between 2 and 9 p.m. over the weekend. Taiwan faces the most intense impact of any country in the world when it comes to the Chinese Communist Party's media influence. Now that's according to a new report by U.S. think tank Freedom House. The report outlined several ways in which Beijing seeks to control the conversation about China in Taiwan. Things like covert partnerships with local media, disinformation campaigns, and subsidized press trips to China for Taiwanese journalists. But the findings also named Taiwan as the country that's most resilient to Chinese media influence, largely because of pushback from Taiwanese society. Freedom House says that over the past 3 years, Beijing has adopted more aggressive, confrontational, and surreptitious ways of influencing perceptions of the Chinese Communist Party overseas. Taiwan's military reported 45 Chinese military aircraft and 7 naval ships in areas around the country on Thursday. This included 25 intrusions into Taiwan's Air Defense Identification Zone, or ADIZ. This area is not the country's airspace, but it is used as a security buffer by the military. China has stepped up military posturing around Taiwan since the visit by U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to Taipei last month. Beijing claims Taiwan as part of its territory to be taken by force if necessary, despite the fact that Taiwan has never been a part of the People's Republic of China. For more on China's incursions near Taiwan, our reporter Jaime Okan spoke to Ben Lewis, a defense analyst based in Washington, D.C. He started by asking what the significance is of Beijing sending warplanes to cross the median line of the Taiwan Strait.
It is quite significant that before August, we saw 23 median line violations publicly tracked by the MND since they started releasing that information publicly. And in August, we saw over 300 violations. We saw 302. And into September so far, we've seen a very high number of median line violations. I think it shows a very clear intent of the PRC that, they're attempting to demonstrate, look, there's no lines we're not going to cross, right? And you can take that idea as far as you'd like. And so I think we're going to see more going forward. We already are, and I don't anticipate that changing. And I think it's quite significant, and I personally feel it's quite concerning.
With that increase in Chinese military activity, what do you think Taiwan's military will do to respond?
Well, I mean, what we saw in August was the policy of just being very steadfast, still setting up scrambling jets, monitoring aircraft. And I think that is the right call. I think that, in my opinion, in this type of situation, if you give an inch, the PRC is going to take a mile. If you signal that, you're weak on this issue, or that, it could be misconstrued in Chinese propaganda that, look, the Taiwanese aren't going to do anything because they know it's just true. We own Taiwan. I think that would be the angle that is spun. And I don't think that the PLA or the PRC was given the opportunity to spin that in August. I was very impressed with the professionalism of the Taiwanese armed forces. And I think it was demonstrated by the fact that, the PRC had to lie. They had to say that, we did enter Taiwan's territorial waters when they didn't. And so in regards to response, I think that the Taiwanese armed forces should continue to do what they're doing.
Tropical storm Muifa is likely to grow into a typhoon over the coming days as it approaches Taiwan. The Central Weather Bureau says it could issue a sea warning on Sunday or Monday as the storm picks up strength. Earlier on Friday, the storm had a radius of 300 kilometers and was situated in waters to the southeast of Taiwan and east of the Philippines. The approach of Tropical Storm Muifa comes just a week after meteorologists issued a land warning for Typhoon Hinamnor, which brought strong winds and rain to the main island of Taiwan. An amateur Taiwanese photographer has compiled over 300,000 photos of Taiwan's natural beauty into a 5-minute time-lapse video. Have a look at this stunning image. Now, this is Xiting in central Taiwan with mist running off mountains. The photographer Chen Yongfeng is from the nearby city of Jiayi. The project took him 2 years to complete. Chen says he had to visit some of the locations multiple times to get all the shots he needed. The video includes photos from some of Taiwan's most scenic areas, including Yilan County to the east and the central regions of Jiayi and Nantou. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally today, we leave you with images of a reunion between a baby sloth and its mother. The pair were separated following the rescue from wildfires in Bolivia. I'm Liao. Take care and see you next time.